Hello and welcome to the Restaurant Show here on CW57. My name is Ryan Ashker. On today's show, we're going to be joined by Freshie and Chef Gail Simmons. All that and more right here on the Restaurant Show. Hello and welcome back to the Restaurant Show. Right now I'm joined by Chris and Scott from one of my favorite places, the Vintage Brewing Company. Guys, thanks for coming out today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Very excited. We have some new things today, including the Homegrown 7 Burger and a Scani Pride Burger. Tell us a little bit about those.
So we got a new menu coming up. This isn't on there quite yet. We're giving you just a quick
So these aren't even available right now.
No, in the next couple weeks, so we have a new menu coming. Started here at the Scani Pride Burger. They just kind of had fun, kitchen had fun putting together just everything fun about Wisconsin that they could think of. So we got a homemade bratwurst patty that will be soaked in beer. It'll be kept in beer until you're ready to have it. Double cheddar cheese, was a Munster cheese on there, cranberry mustard, and then to just get a little more liquor in there, we also got brandy caramelized onions and sauerkraut on top. So,
oh wow!
All that on a pretzel bun, and that's going to be a good one. So hopefully it turns out we'll make it a full sandwich there. Just want to show you all the pretty insides there.
Just the way everything comes together. That'll be a good one once.
That'll be a good one. Yeah, we're excited for that. We're also gonna have a new homegrown burger. We've had this homegrown series of burgers. This is our 7th iteration of it now. So homegrown 7. Every one we've always tried to have. It's all locally sourced things, all from the area. And we usually try to work a little bit of fruit in there somehow too, just kind of be unique. So our new one coming up here, it'll be a half-pound patty of Knackie's ground beef, a blend they make just for us. An elderberry and black pepper aioli will be the sauce on it. Fresh strawberries, balsamic caramelized onions, and then some kind of baby greens on there too to round that one out. So
elderberry, that's a little bit different. That'll give it a nice taste.
Yes, yeah. Let's try. We've got our original homegrown is still on the menu. That one all stays on. That's got apple slices on there. We've had ones with pear, with all kinds of fun stuff on there.
And you mentioned this is the 7th incarnation at Homegrown series. How did that kind of come about?
I don't know what sparked Homegrown 1, but other than just wanting to do a burger that was all locally sourced.
Okay.
And then when that one took off well, he had many ideas for Homegrown 1 and said, well, let's just make this a series. And every menu change, we're popping a new homegrown on there. So this will be our newest one for this summer. Yep.
That's a great idea. So try as many as you can of that homegrown series. That sounds great. And maybe if you're not in the mood for a big honkin' Wisconsin burger, getting into summer here, a little bit nicer weather, eat a little lighter, we have a cookie salad.
Yeah, we're gonna have a new, it is healthier than the burgers despite the cookie name on there, but just some little lighter, maybe you're sitting outside on the patio on a nice summer day. This will be a nice, just kind of a summer strawberry salad. Fresh strawberries, candied almonds, red onions, goat cheese, over a bit of greens, and then the kind of fun bit where the cookie name comes from is actually, we got little Fig Newton croutons on top of there to kind of round that one out, get a little sweet in there with the berries. So yeah, it'll have a balsamic dressing on top of it there, but that'll be a nice summer salad for the
And I think you might have mentioned it. That would be a great meal, something like that. Have a beer and a salad to sit out on the patio.
Sit on the patio. We got it. The weather hasn't been great the last couple of days, but we'll have it open whenever the sun is out.
Once it kicks in, that is a must-do on the west side of Madison. Hang out on the patio at Vintage. Absolute fantastic and great food to go along with that. Aside from these, are there any other new menu items you guys might want to touch on and talk about while we have you here today?
Yeah, we couldn't bring them all, but we're going to introduce we're going to have a new flatbread on our appetizer menus, kind of taken off of our pizza success that we do at our Sauk City location.
Sure.
So a flatbread. We're going to have a poutine due to some popular demand. We'll have a poutine on the appetizer menu, and salmon. We haven't had any fish on our menu in a while, so we're going to bring in salmon, do kind of a salmon BLT and a salmon salad. So there'll be lots of new options coming up here in about a week or so. Yep.
Keep dragging me back in, you guys. And while we have you here, I want to talk about a brand new beer we have. Very unique color to it. Tell us a little bit the Bouquet Pink IPA.
Right, Bouquet Pink IPA is it's pink because of the flowers. We used hibiscus flowers, rose hips, chamomile, and jasmine petals. So it's got a floral aroma, but it also has a really citrusy aroma. So some of the hops we use bring forth kind of a grapefruit meets tangerine. So it's a really unique aroma. And of course the color is there too. It's an unfiltered beer, so it's meant to have a bit of haze. It's going to have that bright pink color. It should be very refreshing as well. And We brewed this not just for Mother's Day, but also for local breast cancer charities. So at Vintage, we're donating $1 per pint for every pint sold. We donate to charity. And it's not just with us. We've got a lot of the Food Fight restaurants on board with the beer as well. They're doing the same charity drive for $1 a pint donation.
Now brewing with flowers, is that a common thing? Is this something?
It's pretty unique. You know, you hear about some hibiscus beers once in a while, but I've only heard of a couple jasmine beers. There are rose hip beers, but to put the whole bouquet together into a pint of beer is something kind of new and unique. It was definitely a challenge to brew, but I think we got a real winner here. It's got some great diverse aromas and flavors.
Just a very unique color, as you can see, but then the aroma once you get to that is absolutely fantastic. It's like a bouquet of flowers you can drink almost in a beer. I absolutely love it. And I want to talk while we have just a little bit of time here, the Burgers and Brews Festival.
Yeah, coming up here, it'll be at the end of May, so about another month or so. And actually, this new homegrown burger will be debuted there as the burger that we're bringing. So it'll be a smaller form. If anyone's ever attended it before, you get in and you get to sample lots of people's burgers and lots of people's brews. So actually, a slider-ish version of the homegrown 7 will be our burger there. And I don't know, we always bring in an assortment of beers. So we're kind of lucky that we get to do both. A lot of restaurants will get to bring their food and a lot of breweries bring their beer. We get to
Combination.
team up with ourselves. So yeah, I think it's our 4th year doing it. So we also have a good time there. Come and check it out. I think there's some voting element if you really like this. You know, come check out the restaurant.
Out there at all.
If you love it.
So that'll be the time when this one gets debuted. So it'll be on the menu after that.
The menu will be in a few weeks. This is in a few weeks. Whatever comes out first, you make
So they have great food regardless, but in a couple weeks you'll have the chance to get the 2 new burgers as well, and then the beer you have right now.
This one might not make it to Burgers and Brews. I wish it would, but I know for sure we're going to re-debut our Ginger Ninja, which is kind of a ginger-infused strong ale,
That's a
really
good one.
unique one, popular beer. That's going to be there for sure because we were pairing it with our featured burger. I believe that's the choice you're meant to drink and eat together.
Good.
So if you want to try the Bouquet Pink IPA, get there quick because very limited supply on that. Chris, Scott, thank you guys very much for coming back out to the restaurant show.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Burgers and Brews Fest coming out. Great food at the Vintage. Wait for that weather to warm up and visit them on the patio. We'll be right back with more of the restaurant show after this. Coming up next on the restaurant show from Top Chef Gail Simmons. Hello and welcome back to the Restaurant Show. My name is Ryan Ashker and today we have a very special guest joining us. She's a judge on Bravo's Emmy-winning series Top Chef. She's contributed to several cookbooks. You've seen her in GQ, People Magazine, TV Guide, really all over the place. And I'm very happy to join the Restaurant Show right now, Gail Simmons. Gail, thanks for joining us here today. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me, Ryan. It's great to be here.
Well, we really appreciate it, and I want to get right into it. What can you tell us a little bit about some of your inspiration? We have a lot of different restaurant owners, cooks come on this program here. Where do you get some of your inspiration for new restaurants and new dishes?
You know, there's so many resources out there right now on how to find new restaurants. Sometimes I actually find it can be overwhelming. I take inspiration from a lot of different sources. I look at crowdsourcing sites, bloggers, food writers, local newspapers and magazines, and I also really love to use social media as a resource. I find that if I look to some of the really trusted sources that I love on Instagram, for example, a chef, a writer, a blogger whose voice and taste I tend to like, then it's really great to find out where they're eating, and every time they post something that looks delicious, I write it down, I make a little note so that when I need inspiration for a new restaurant or a new dish, I have it right at the ready.
That makes a lot of sense. I know whether I have a great or poor experience when I go out, you know, that's one of the things you'd put on Twitter or something that I highly recommend going here. Let's avoid this place altogether.
And if I have a really great dish, I'm often going to take advantage of it by taking a picture of it and posting it because I'm really excited by it. And that not only is really nice to do for the restaurant if the picture's good, but it tells so many people so that then you end up, you know, your fans and followers and friends ends up seeing it and they now know to try that experience. There's also so many restaurant deals to take advantage of right now, which I think really help get people out dining more and making sure that they're getting value for their restaurant experience. I'm partnering with Chase Freedom Credit Card, and right now through June 30th, they're actually offering 5% cash back on all restaurant spending across the country. So that's just a really great inspiration to go out and eat. Try something new. You can't go wrong because you know you're getting a great deal on it.
That is great inspiration. So seeing that they have that great deal going on, I might be a little bit more inclined to go out. And if I'm going to do that, and I want to plan a special night with the lady, something kind of romantic, something fun, what's something I can do or call ahead to the restaurant to make that night even just a little bit more extra special for us?
Sure. You know, I think people don't take advantage of this enough. Restaurants are in the business of hospitality, as you know, and if you give them advance warning, they're often really happy to accommodate special needs, special occasions. They're proud that you're celebrating with them, and if they can do something to make it extra special, they're going to do that so that you recommend it and so that you come back again to eat there. Whenever I'm going out for, let's say, a special date night or a birthday, an anniversary, or I'm eating with a big group, I make the reservation in advance, and then I always make sure to give them as much information as I can. If someone has a dietary restriction or an allergy, if I know that I want a quiet booth in the corner or I want a big table in their private room, I always let them know and talk to them about ideas they might have to make it a special experience, a special dessert, a candle on the cake, anything they can do. And you'd be surprised at how often chefs and restaurants are really happy to respond because they're in the business of making you happy, of feeding you and giving you a great time out.
That makes sense. I might have to write you a thank you letter after my next date night out after that advice.
There you go. Good idea. Never hurts.
So tell us a little bit about, you mentioned some of the experts and you love to follow social media, Instagram, some other things to find new restaurants or dishes that you may like. So how do those experts or people you trust, how are they able to find these new kind of hotspots?
Well, I think there's lots of ways. I mean, word of mouth is very powerful, and these days, word of mouth means social media, it means getting the word out, and you can reach so many people that way. So I follow people not only in the city I live in, but in cities across the world, and everyone travels these days. The world is such a small place that I hear about restaurants in New York every day from all different sources, or I hear about, you know, restaurants wherever I'm traveling. It's really easy to go online and not only look up curated lists and local lists of where to eat, but find bloggers and restaurant guides, travel guides. Another great way, actually, I find to get inspiration on where to eat and go somewhere new is when I get to a new destination, don't just ask your concierge. They often have a lot of great resources, but ask the locals. Ask a shopkeeper if you're out shopping for the day. Ask a taxi driver, or if you find a restaurant that you love, ask the waiter or the chef at that restaurant where they eat on their days off. Because if you like the restaurant food where they're working, they can probably direct you to places that are like-minded and similar.
Makes a whole lot of sense. Learning so much from you here today. So for me or some of my viewers, how might we able to be finding some more advice or some more tips from you in the future?
Well, I have lots of great tips on Chase Freedom's Facebook page. You can go there and find tons of ways to take advantage of dining out this summer. And that's what I recommend you do.
So check it out. Gail, thank you so much for joining us here on the Restaurant Show today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a blast.
Hey, Gail Simmons, thank you so much for coming on the Restaurant Show. Check it out, Chase Freedom. A lot of great tips from Gail to let you know where you're going to eat on your next adventure out. We'll be right back with more of the Restaurant Show after this. Coming up next on the Restaurant Show, Jack from Freshie stops by. Hello and welcome back to the Restaurant Show. Right now we're going to learn a little bit more about eating healthy and some of the great healthy options in our area with Freshie. It is Jack. Jack, thanks for coming back. How are you doing today?
I'm doing terrific. Thanks for having me back.
So tell us a bit about what we got. I know last time we talked a bit about your smoothies and cleanses and things like that, and they tasted absolutely fantastic. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about how you can do date night without having to eat out and fill your body with toxins and things like that.
Sure, everybody's got different expectations when they go out, but popular refrain I've been hearing, we've been open almost 6 months now, and people say that there's just not enough healthy options, and sometimes I see couples coming in and they're looking for something where they can kind of mix or match, meet their needs. We do custom of everything, so you can start from scratch and build your own. But tonight what I brought with you is our teriyaki twist bowl with some chicken on it, one of our better sellers. We also have here our smokehouse burrito with steak.
Oh, all right.
So basically I find like sometimes depending on the fare, some of the bigger, brawnier guys, you say healthy, and they're like, whoa, I don't do healthy. I'm a steak and potatoes guy. And I say, great. Try a smokehouse burrito with steak. And I've yet to have a customer tell me that they didn't love it.
Well, because you got your healthy stuff in there, but you still got that steak, so you have your protein and those things that, the bigger guys might like as well.
Exactly, and it's a big, healthy burrito. It's definitely going to fill you up. If you got some room for dessert, though, we did bring along a couple of our smoothies today. The Freshie Green, once again, has spinach, kale, pineapple, avocado, along with our frozen kefir, so that's a healthier frozen yogurt.
All right.
Also brought our banana nut crunch. That's my wife's favorite. We're celebrating our 8-year anniversary. So
congratulations.
Thank you very much. So for all those couples out there, whether they be young, married with kids like us, maybe a little more experience under your belt, wherever you're coming from, I just find that couples really have an enjoyable experience. We're not too far from the theaters down there on Mineral Point Road, so we see people that come in, a little dinner and movie action, maybe popping in after some time shopping or something like that. But whatever you're doing, please come visit us at Freshie. Once again, we're open 7 a.m. till 8 p.m., Monday through Saturday.
So a lot of great options. Whether you want to catch a movie or do the shopping over on the west side, pop on in for lunch, dinner, date night, as we have some of the options here. And you were talking a little bit about how you can customize entrees, things like that. Tell us a little bit about maybe some of the options you can have as we're customizing things.
Sure.
In there.
So the first thing we started with the base. So for example, this teriyaki twist here, we start out with a brown rice base, but you can go with quinoa. Quinoa's a seed, so you're getting more protein.
Sure.
It's kind of that lean protein that a lot of people are looking for these days. I mean, nothing against a big steak or something like that, but this is something where you can eat it and not feel maybe as weighed down afterwards.
Still continue with your day maybe. After
So after the base, of course, we've got our toppings here. For this one, we've got carrots, cucumbers, edamame, broccoli, and some green onions, along with little sesame seeds and some wonton strips thrown on there.
Okay.
With our teriyaki sauce. So it's completely up to you what you want to do for as far as the toppings. You can just take off a couple things, like sometimes they'll say people don't want the green onions or don't want the wonton strips, but we do have custom tickets at our store, so you can literally start from scratch, build your own. And then it's up to you what proteins you want to add on there.
Sure.
For this one, we put chicken on there. You can also do steak, tuna, falafel, or our tofu, which is a firm tofu, has some nice flavor to it, so seems very popular. Switching over to the smokehouse burrito, same deal. If you want to start out with the rice and beans is what it typically comes with. When I get it myself, sometimes I do put that quinoa in there just to give me a few more calories during the day, because I'm usually running and gunning. And then you see inside here that we've got the tomatoes, the red onions, the corn, and it's up to you, once again, which protein. I usually get it with steak myself, but it's all pretty good in there.
Okay, fantastic. So we mentioned that and some of the different options and things like that. What do we have over here? What's this guy?
So I want to bring along something lighter as well. So this is our Ninja Wrap.
Okay.
And great summer option. Has our Asian sesame sauce on there, which I absolutely adore. It's just a very yummy sauce. It's very colorful. It's got the cabbage, the edamame, the carrots, the lettuce in there. All mixed together. This one I'd put vegetarian. A lot of times we'll have customers that are vegetarian or vegan. A lot of comments that they're just very excited that there's this type of healthy, fast casual restaurant now available on the west side. And I see people from all different backgrounds come in. Definitely don't judge a book by its cover.
Yes.
With anybody that walks in our door, because I can never guess what's going to come out of their mouth next for what they might request.
And one of the items I've heard a lot about is the Pangoa Bowl. Is that how you pronounce that? The Pangoa Bowl?
Yep, that's how it's pronounced, Pangoa Bowl, exactly. Probably the comment I get the most on that one is that fiery barbecue sauce has this nice blend of the sweet along with a little zing with the spiciness of it. So a popular quote that I get is, "Jack, I'm addicted to that Pangoa Bowl, that fiery barbecue sauce. I gotta have it."
Nice.
So
it
happy to oblige.
Has a nice little kick to it, but not that overwhelming heat that some people would be worried about. So that might be, you talked about the guys that are the steak and potato sort of guys and stuff, I like to eat. So is that one of those options that, maybe someone like me might want to have? Same thing with the wrap over there?
Yep, absolutely. You can, like I said, start from scratch. I'd definitely say those two, I would say, by the guys are probably more popular. Our number one seller is that Mediterranean Bowl still that we brought before. Everybody orders that one and loves it. I've got some regulars that just can't get away from it. They got to have that mix with the quinoa and the field greens and the red pepper sauce and all the toppings. It just really comes together with a lot of flavor.
And one of the things I want to remind the viewers too is they have that, cleanse that goes in a couple of different circuits. You could have, was it 3 days, 5 days?
Yeah, 1, 3, and 5 days, 4 juices in a salad. It's our MetaBoost salad. And after we ran the show, we had a lot of people coming in, calling in, and the benefits that I've been hearing have just been fantastic. People feeling better, losing a little weight, and making it quick and easy for them is the biggest part of it. If you're juicing at home, it takes a lot of time to prep all that stuff, get it all ready, go into the grocery store, et cetera, et cetera. And then doing that each morning to make your own, definitely time intensive. So we're happy to do it for you if you just want to pop in.
And that's definitely one of the things I want to highlight too, because that's a great thing going on, especially as we're getting in the summer weather and things like that. And you guys also do catering, and aside from that, you're running something special with the students right now. What's going on there?
So 10% off discount for all students with valid ID. So whether you're going to the UW, MATC, Memorial High School is right across the street. I'm just encouraging people at an early start to eat healthy, avoid some of those things that go along with having a bad diet like diabetes, etc.
So all that great thing going on, and more fresh options, healthy options, different options, and customize them any way you want. Great food over at Freshie. Give it a try. You might not be the vegetable kind of person. You might be the meat and potatoes kind of guy. They got something for everyone. So give it a try, Freshie. Jack, thanks for coming back in today.
You're welcome.
Freshie over on the west side. Check it out. We'll be right back with more of the Restaurant Show in just a moment. Thank you again for tuning into the Restaurant Show. We want to thank all of our guests that stopped by and shared with us some great food and insights from the restaurant business. Stay tuned all week long for more of the Restaurant Show right here on CW57, so you can eat the best and just forget the rest.